turned me into such. All you granted me was lust. And what I seemed to grow was rust. Are you displeased? Are you angry? My mighty night angels, wings of pimpers that we stray. Those who break to blood are so fumes in vain. So believe in me and collect. I'm your leader again. Rise! So speak for me, little sister. Wanna leave you for another master. Leave you with a full of lost and turned me into such. All you granted me was lust. And what I seemed to grow was rust. Are you displeased? Are you angry now? Mighty not angels, wings have been bruised every strain. Those who break to blood are so fiends in vain. So believe in me and let time your little death. Rise! So speak for me, little sister. Wanna leave you for another master. Leave you with a pool of water. The water is my alma mater. I hate my software, I hate my health, I hate my encore, and no one else. In my breath, in my rest, in my neck, in my oh, I hate my body, but not like you. I hate my country, but I ain't like you. And myself, and my friends, don't let me be there. And I fail. Be my breath, be my rest, be my neck, be my friend, number one in heck. I walked outside and was thunderstruck by a missile on the 4th of July, but I still got my missile.
We are live.
All right. Well, then, welcome back, everyone, to the next session of Here Be Dragons. And without
Hooray.
further ado, who's going to be giving our recap this week?
Not me, because I was unable to take notes last time.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right.
Thank
Some
you.
stuff happened. Watch the last episode.
All right.
Give Rec more views. Give Rec more views.
Okay, I'll give the recap
As that
this
man
time.
deserves.
No, I got it. I got
Great.
it. That was just a little joke. All right, here we go. So, I've been having a day today.
Never change.
Group makes. We got making our way through. We decided to be more cautious as we made our way through. We eventually found a small clearing where we decided to set up camp for the night and then prepare to searching in the morning or listening at night. We then, while we were setting up camp, and Lessla decided to tell stories of draconic history, specifically about the great ancient red dragon Klaus. We all kind of blinked, and we were not where we were before. After the moment to take in our surroundings, basically try to figure out what was going on, we deduced that, Lessla deduced that it was probably a day's time passed. We saw some movement. He saw some movement in the trees, so we followed that. Corvus, being much faster than the party, was able to keep pace better with them, but they decided to shoot fire at him because apparently tree people throw fire. After that, Lessla discovered, oh fuck, I don't have spell slots. That's not good. We all reconvened, tried to set up camp, and we decided to set up a secondary camp to try and, just sort of recover from some of us getting blasted by fire. We then heard a singing that hit a memory in all of us, and we all, in our own forms of locomotion, decided to go towards it. We went towards it. There was a woman standing there who seemed surprised or startled by the sudden appearance of a bunch of people. More or less it.
Yep, that brings us up into the present, where you've all burst into this clearing to find a very startled tiefling woman.
Yes. Lessla, as soon as we burst in, will recollect herself and say, "Excuse me, but where did you hear that song?"
I'm sorry?
That song that you were singing, where did you hear it? And
Well, it's... You can see she's sort of fumbling for it.
yeah. And how is she reacting to us the way that most people react to us, or is she?
Nope.
Okay.
She seems mostly just startled that you're here, and maybe a little confused that the first thing you ask is, "Where'd you hear that song?"
So,
Because I do want to remind you, it is like it is dark. It is like 10 p.m. in the middle of the woods.
Okay, so I can
Who
barely
knows
see
how
shit.
far away from everything? And a bunch of people burst in on her singing and ask, "Where'd you hear that song?"
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So Lessla will once again recollect herself as she kind of like brushes down her clothes because she's been running and say, "I apologize. I might have been hasty of me. I think introductions are proper. I am Lady Lessla Silverster of the Silverster Barony of the Silver Marches."
And I'm Sapphire.
These are our compatriots, and I will gesture to each one, starting with Inik. That is Inik Trothar of the House of Trothar. That is Mr. Corvus Humblewood.
Don't know that.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I knew it or not because I remember what's her face waving the book around or something. I've killed Inik. Mr. Corvus, Miss Bleu Cheese of the Forest, as well as
I already
Miss.
said my name.
I
Oh,
was
Activate.
yes.
Sorry,
the
I
other,
forgot there was one other person here.
yes, the one other one who now slips my mind because of you.
Indris.
It's interesting.
Syndrus.
Her full name.
Zarkaya.
Zarthea.
You haven't heard her full name yet.
We have.
Zara Sindris.
Not in character, I don't think. Have you heard it in character?
Yes, yes.
Her father called her that.
Yes,
yes,
that's right.
Yeah, and
That's right. He did use her full name.
yes, and Miss Sindris, a local of these areas to a degree.
I've seen her around. What are you all doing out here? And for that matter, what am I doing out here?
You do not remember how you got out here?
Well, I remember how I got here. Well, sort of. Why? Mm, I have a lot of questions.
Is she sitting like by a fire or something?
No, not really. There's this is the same area where you had a burnt out fire before, so there is the remains of that.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if this was the same area. You're just using the same.
It is the same area, yes.
Okay, Lessla says, "Let us start a fire so that we may speak in firelight."
Okay.
And is the remains of the previous fire there?
Yeah.
I will just because I'm not trying to skip. I'm being more cautious this time. I'm just going to prestidigitate a small flame, and then use control flames to increase it.
Okay. The sort of embers and coals take a bit. You can tell they're gonna fade out if you don't stoke them, but
yeah,
you got the start of something.
Yeah. Yep. Lessla moves to sit and pulls out some extra kindling to throw on it to keep it alive for the time being, and says, "What is your name?"
Oh, right, my name. I'm Laura.
You said Lyra, right?
Laura.
Laura.
Lara.
Like the
Laura
like
Croft, yeah.
Croft.
Lara Croft.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
Tomb
Croft.
Raider.
Yes.
Yes. Miss Lara.
Which I only realized just now when I said it.
Yeah, Miss Lara. Are you familiar with this section of the woods?
Not really. No.
And are you from the nearby village as well?
I am. And you're very clearly not.
Yes. Myself and my compatriots, with the exception of Sindris, Sindris actually is adventurers from Waterdeep. We were commissioned to look into the disappearances of the nearby village. Through a series of complicated turns of events, we are now here, seeking out a period of forest in which there are supposedly men guarding it. But yesterday, we seem to have lost a full day's progress, and our memories seemed to be insufficient. And when we came to, we were, as it seems, missing a fight. Just finishing a fight.
Well, hmm, that's very similar to what happened to me, I guess.
And after you became cognizant of your actions once more, you made your way here.
Well, I just sort of found my way here. It was the first real place that looked safe.
Shadow, have any of my traps been set off?
Uh,
Yeah, or set up little trap.
Yeah.
your twigs, yes,
Yeah.
several of them have been snapped. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to determine more about that.
Low 10, here we go.
Okay, so it looks like what has happened is that someone has stumbled over in this area and rolled across several of the twigs you have set up here. As there is a skid of dirt and then several snapped twigs.
Ouch.
And one more that looks like it has been picked up and thrown across the area over here.
Oops.
Hey, that's what it did its job.
You wonder why someone could be so upset at twigs, but
Yeah.
that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, now that we've determined,
You don't have the alarm spell, you have to improvise.
Leslie, has everyone else come to sit down by the fire?
No, Corvus is just standing. He's probably put his shirt on by now, but he's just sort of standing watching.
I've moved
Me?
myself appropriately.
Cheese has not yet moved. She's still just she's hanging back and watching very carefully. She doesn't like this.
Okay.
Leslie says, as for why we came bursting into this section clearing, we caught the sound of the song you were singing, and it was a familiar song, at least to me.
Sapphire will nod in agreement.
Yeah, Syndrus actually does as well.
Yep. I have been noticing connections between myself and the people that seem to be surrounding me. And I was wondering if the same might be said for you. Similarities in circumstance.
What do you mean similarities?
Well, I will list off a few attributes of life, and all you need to do is simply confirm or deny that they are a possibility for you. The first one being people's apprehension for approaching you.
Well, I am a tiefling, so some of that comes with the territory.
Fair. The realization that there are others that do not have the same apprehension.
Well, not everyone does.
As well as, from what I can tell now, hearing that song in your dreams.
I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna mute myself.
How did you know that's where I heard it?
At which point, Lessla will nod and says, "That is a song I hear in my dreams, and one that I use as a rhythm for smithing." And I will then look to Sapphire and Syndrus who nodded and say, I have a feeling that these two have also heard it in their dreams.
On several occasions, yes.
Great. Your mothers sang the same song to you when you were babies, and now you dream of it. Can we move forward? Was this really a needed detour?
That isn't necessarily the case. I know the song as well. No one was there to raise me and sing it to me. This is something beyond just memory.
I'm not sure that really matters when we woke up randomly in the forest and don't remember what we had just been doing or why none of you are able to cast magic. I feel like there are more pressing issues than a song.
Well, it's. You are more than likely correct, Inik. There are more pressing matters, but for the time being, night is falling and it's dangerous to continue.
I'm sorry, did you say that your magic wasn't working?
It appears that I have exhausted my magical resources. No doubt during the fight that ensued while our memories lapsed.
I had something similar happen to me, but I don't think I was in any kind of fight.
So, not necessarily. So, your magic was drained.
It was drained, yes,
Hmm.
but it didn't feel like I was the one who drained it. I don't think.
If that is
I
the
feel
case,
like I'd know if I did, or be able to tell.
if that's the case, then I suggest that you stay with us for the time being, so that there are more people to keep an eye out on things, as it were. And I looked at everyone else's, and as much as I loathe to say that we should rest here, considering what happened in the previous night, I think that setting up a watch and resting to rejuvenate ourselves is the best course of action.
I would agree.
I don't have any issues with that.
Mm-hmm. Also, if anyone would like to notice anything more about your new friend, you are welcome to roll checks.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've
I'd
been
like to.
Kinda checks.
I've been paying attention to her reaction to everything as I've talked
Mhm.
because that's just what I do.
It's like Corvus has
No,
been
that's fine.
has mostly been listening out to the world around him rather than focusing on the conversation.
Can I see if she has any nicks on her body?
That would be a perception check.
All right.
Okay. She's the only thing you can tell is that she seems to be sort of. She keeps rubbing her wrist a lot.
I guess can I insight
And when
her?
she's not rubbing her wrist, is it just covered by clothes or what?
Yeah, she has a long sleeve that covers it.
Okay.
Yes, you can insight her.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that as well, if at all possible.
Yeah, especially
both
with
of you.
the
Go
arm
ahead.
rubbing.
that's a 15.
21.
Whoa. Hello.
Are
Whoa.
you all right?
I'm still waiting for Jesus to pop up.
Same.
Well,
Nope.
considering the robot
It's
sound.
it's bad. It's bad. Oh god. I don't know
20's not bad.
what the
No,
hell
I think
happened.
it's lagging. I think
Yeah.
cheese is lagging.
So, Lessla, you she seems to be pretty honest in everything she's telling you, as far as you're concerned.
Mhm.
Sapphire and Cheese. She seems fairly honest. The rubbing of the wrist, it seems to just be sore.
Okay.
Like she hasn't even really maybe acknowledge that it is, just sort of just like a passing reaction.
Okay.
Does she have any weapons on her?
No, she has a harp, that's it.
Mm.
A harp?
A
Mhm.
harp. Little hand harp.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay. Let's say lugging this thing around.
No,
Isn't
like
that-
a little small one that you can hold
Okay.
in your.
So like a
your
Alright.
lyre?
Yeah, is that not a lyre?
Yes, that would be it.
Yeah. This,
Like-
like a backpack hop.
No wonder her wrist is sore.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of the smaller one. Thank you.
Does she have the super long fingernails that are associated with like hop?
Yes, but being a tiefling, they're closer to claws on her.
Must be sturdy strings.
Yeah, that's what the hops with metal strings. You had to grow your nails out long, else you would grind into your fingers.
So Laura,
Yeah, got a
are you
purple.
all right? You seem to be rubbing your wrist a bit.
Oh, well, it's been a little sore since I came to. Haven't really thought about it. I figured I just tripped.
I imagine Corvus looks slightly guilty, but knowing him, he's stoic as fuck, so he doesn't.
Or is like almost tuning out most of the competition? He's just paying attention to the world around him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic while we wait, just so in case anything magical tries to sneak up on us.
Okay.
Well, maybe in the morning someone here can help with that. I know Cheese knows some healing magic.
I really don't think it's anything to worry about.
If at worst it is a sprained wrist, which you only need to wrap and keep still. More than likely, it's just bruised.
The mention of sprain, you can see her kind of worry a little bit, and start to pull back her sleeve a little bit to take a look. Mention of bruise, she seems relieved, and that does appear to be all it is. Anything more on that would be checks, of course.
Yeah, I have a feeling I understand it, but yeah, insight.
Insight? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So she's worried because a sprained wrist when you play a lyre, well, makes it much
Yeah.
harder to actually do that.
Yeah, that I
And-
figured that was it.
Yeah. Cheese, with your passive perception, that the way that bruise is doesn't seem quite natural to you. That doesn't look like something you just trip and get.
Writing that down. He's will kind of step up, standing just behind Lady Silverster. If you would like me to, I could try and wrap it up and clean it up, make it a little bit less painful, even without my magic.
I think it's just a bruise. I'm sure I'll be fine.
And
Which
just
point,
for my sake, should I
lady,
get a closer look?
lady, so Lessla will say, please, she can be quite insistent. It is better that you let her do so. When she worries over people, well, she worries a lot.
All right, if you insist. She sort of very cautiously holds out her arm. Keep in mind, you have just met this person.
Which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
Cheese will very gently, like butterfly kiss touches, investigate, and she's going to try and make it seem as though she's investigating the wound itself and how bad it is, but in reality, she's trying to assess what did this.
That will be investigation or survival.
Survival. with me. We are slow going there. I don't know what it is.
Every time you roll, you start going robot-y.
Yeah, that does happen.
I don't know what it is, y'all.
19. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay. So with the 19, you've not seen. Well, you have seen bruises like this before, although much thinner. This is what happens when something wraps around very tightly around the skin. It's that type of bruise. However, this is much wider than any snare you're familiar with seeing marks from. This looks like just a really strong grip. Seems like someone
It's
just
not like a hand or anything.
a hand would actually fit very well. As
Okay.
far as you can't be certain, but that would certainly fit the bill. Like if someone grabbed her, got a really tight hold of her wrist and yanked her around for a bit, that might that would be accurate.
Cheese is going to just kind of poke and prod at it for a little bit longer, and then let it go.
After you do that for a while, she starts first kind of looking questioningly at Cheese, and then questioningly at Lessla.
You should be all right. It'll heal in a few days. But I do recommend treating it carefully.
Okay. Thank you, I guess.
We can try to find some cold water. That might help. Or ice.
I don't
Both
think.
are rather spent at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be the best for me.
Well, hopefully in the morning I'll be feeling better.
And as we organize a watch.
I should definitely take one of the darker hours.
Corvus sets up for first watch, sets the Drake up for midnight watch.
Okay.
And Corvus makes sure he's in the most defensible position he can get into.
Cheese will take.
I'll go over here. The Drake here, and I'll make sure that Calico is somewhere around this.
She curls up
to.
kind of like right over here, corner.
Yeah.
Like by the cave, but not quite in it.
Like, almost as if Corvus, just so you're aware, is not using you as watch, he's taking his own stuff, ignoring whatever watch you guys set up.
Nice.
I'll take the same watch as the Drake.
Yeah.
I've got dark
Cheese
vision.
then will take first watch.
I think Corvus already said first watch.
Corvus said he was gonna do his own shit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He does the first, and then he tries to. It's like Corvus does 1 hour of watch, and then does 1 hour. Or his rests are very. Because you only need to be sleeping
Damn
for
it.
6 hours, so Corvus just like does it.
I
in
will
one
be
go.
right back. I'm getting a call.
Okay.
Alright.
Lessla will take the last watch then, because dawn will be breaking at that point. And she's just going to sleep with her back up against the wall.
And while we wait for Cheese to come back, I am going to ask Laura. So, since you're from the town, what do you know about what's been going on with the missing people? Since we're trying to figure that out and solve it, might as well get information before we head to bed.
Not really all that much, honestly. I'm not so much from there as I am passing through.
Well,
I-
maybe you've heard something that we haven't, so.
Well, not really. They don't really seem to like to talk to outsiders.
Oh,
Only
fun.
some of the guards really paid me any attention, really. And I wasn't too thrilled with that, honestly.
Well, they sound fun. That's full sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird. Like, specifically me, they were.
You cut out a bit there.
She said it was weird. It was like they was specifically her they were watching.
Did you have compatriots?
Not really, no. I just finished my courses at the ladies' college. Lessla, you would know that is a magic academy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A pretty famous one, actually. Who'd we lose?
Cheese is back.
Okay.
Jeez. Right.
Well,
Uh,
back in the call, not so much back.
so
I
you are.
should-
So you are a student of magic as well.
Yes, Bardic, actually.
Ah. More of the more esoteric types.
Sort of, yeah.
I am aware of bardic magic being unique in its own right.
It's certainly more enjoyable for me.
Not as structured as wizard's magic, but not as unpredictable as sorcery.
That sounds about right from what I've heard. I never had my talent for wizardry schools.
It does take a certain type of person in order to excel with wizardry.
She nods in agreement.
I wonder if it has something to do with our natural predisposition towards people, or if it was something else that drew the god's gaze. What was the last thing you remember before your lapse in memory?
Well, I was in the town, I think. I'm pretty sure I had just. You can see her trying to like rack her brain, trying to really think about it. I'm pretty sure I just laid down for a quick rest. And then I was standing in a cloud of smoke.
It seems that whatever causes this has a very similar modus operandi. It
I had a
seems
really bad feeling about staying around.
yes, but it is dangerous to move at night. As much as we've been able to avoid the predators, from what we can tell, the wildlife seems to be on it edge. We wouldn't want to risk running into the wrong types.
Well, I can at least appreciate the lack of bug that whatever it is has caused.
Hmm.
How did I not notice this?
Because you're cheese, you notice the birds.
No. Bugs are her
I
favorite
have-
thing.
I have been telling you that.
Yeah.
Was mentioned.
No, the reason you didn't notice it is because you're Marin.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I think we can investigate more in the morning. For now, let us get proper rest. And Lessla leans back against the wall and pulls her glasses off.
Laura herself beds down. What most of you consider to be a little too close for comfort to the fire, but at the same time,
Tiefling.
you are talking about a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
Her tolerance for the heat is probably significantly better than yours.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. I heard that shit.
And Syndris kind of tries to find her own little corner off to the side.
But it's round. There are no corners. Get fucked, you edgelord.
Ruford, be
Right.
nice.
Ruford,
I'm
you don't
never
need
nice.
to. You
I
can't
know
call
you're
people edgelords.
I mean,
You have no right.
what do you mean?
Anyway,
I don't understand.
Mister, do your own shit.
for everyone taking a watch, I need a perception check.
Alright.
Disadvantage?
I don't know if it makes any difference, but Inik will be staying up through all the watches. He is not sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a choice.
That is
That is going
exhaustion.
to be a fortitude save. Or constitution save, sorry.
Ooh.
Wrong system.
Alrighty.
Don't speak
Perception,
your
go.
Pathfinder magics
Jesus
here.
Christ, 17.
Okay. Inik, you don't feel great, but you're able to force yourself to stay up.
Y'all are
Oh,
really, really
God.
trusting of this random person we found in a forest, but alright.
And she sleeps soundly through the night.
Hold on. I'm rolling.
At least you're not roboting anymore.
And
Yeah, at least.
Inik, are you going to roll your perception check?
Is it just one, or do I need to do multiple? That's what I'm
It will just be one.
I should roll
I'm
one
going to give
boy.
you disadvantage
Ooh,
for
good
how
job.
long you're staying up.
20.
Hold on.
Jesus, winning with 20.
Oh, well, it's just gonna roll it once, so I'll just click it twice then, I guess.
Okay.
She's will also be staying up throughout the watches, but she is doing her trance instead of just not sleeping. And also, funny little quick question, just for the sake of being a question. What's the phase of the moon currently, do you know?
The phase of the moon currently, it would be it's about a half moon.
Okay. Waning or waxing?
Half.
Remind me which is which.
Waning is going towards a full moon, waxing is going
Waning.
towards a new moon.
Waning.
Okay.
So, Cheese, you're the only one who does notice this.
Oh, great.
When you get up for your watch, as you're kind of looking over everyone, you notice that Lara herself, as she's dozed off to sleep, the position that she's in looks very, very uncomfortable, like the way she has her head.
How so? Is she like fetal positioning, like holding it, or?
No, not so much that. It's like she's lying down, she's curled up a little bit. But, you'd expect her to sort of just lie down, like, flat because the horns make it hard to do much else. But
Mm.
what she has currently done instead is balance her head on essentially resting it on one of the horns, which is sort of dug into the dirt a little bit. And as you take a closer look, you do notice that she doesn't seem all too comfortable herself just by the occasional stirring that she's doing. But whenever she does shift to a position that looks a bit more comfortable, that one of just lying on her back, there's a little bit of a grimace or a groan, and then a shift again in her posture.
He's at one point gonna poke her awake.
Okay. Where are you poking her? I am. It that sounds weird, but it is actually important.
He's gonna poke her on the shoulder.
Okay. You poke her on the shoulder a few times and wake her up. And she kind of
Alright.
groggily rubs the sleep from her eyes. And just looks at you.
Are you alright?
Tired. Trying to sleep.
You don't look very comfortable.
My neck feels really sore. That would make sense considering how she was just lying a few moments ago.
Well, as another person with a horn, I couldn't imagine the way you were sleeping was entirely comfortable. Yes, I was watching you.
How was I sleeping?
He's just gonna mimic how she was sleeping.
You
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 have the
mimic to the
horn.
best of your ability with your, albeit very different horn. But you still manage to get the message across, and she kind of gives you a very puzzled look.
Are you used to having horns? You don't look it.
She seems perplexed by the question. Like, how do you respond to that? That's like asking someone if they're used to having hair.
Exactly.
She just sort of goes to lie down, and the moment the back of her head like touches the ground to do it, she winces again and rubs the back of it, and then just sort of rolls over.
Might I look? Oh, that's weird, isn't it? That's a weird person thing. I'm trying to get better about weird people things.
What? Um, what do you want to do? She's steadily sort of waking up, but she's still very groggy at this point.
I just There's no way to say this in a way that Lady Silverster would deem as appropriate. Might I just look at your horns and touch them? You can touch mine if it makes you feel better.
Okay. You have a feeling you would get a very different answer if she were fully awake.
Jesus is just going to very gently investigate. Just kind of look.
This
See.
will be investigation.
This will be investigation. Whee! Oh, night.
I am become comedy.
We stand by.
12. Her horns seem fine. And she doesn't seem to really react as you sort of inspect them. At one point, you sort of tilt her head, and she grunts a little bit and she just is forced to sort of more adjust her posture so that you're not, sort of craning her neck at a weird angle as you poke around.
You just seem to be a mess of trouble.
Okay. Yeah, whatever's going on, the issue isn't her horns. You can tell that.
Yeah.
They seem fine.
Was your neck hurting you earlier along with your wrist, or is it just the wrist?
My neck wasn't really hurting me. No, just my wrist.
Okay. All right. Well, get some rest.
She nods and finally goes to lie down now that you've released her head and her horns, and once again goes to lie down on her back, and once the back of her head hits the ground, there's the wince, and she rolls over and tries to readjust.
Is that all possible? Cheese wants to try and like druid craft little flowers, her little flower bed pillow.
Okay. You can do something with the leaves, sure. There's enough of them for you to make something that's kind of supportive. They are still leaves, but
Yeah.
as you kind of gently shift it under there, she does seem to stop stirring as much as she was.
Mm. And Cheese will continue either watching or in her trance back over here.
Okay. As for the rest of you, the night goes by without any incident, and you wake up in the morning. Inik, you just sort of silently watched all this.
Yup, sufficiently weirded out, but it's also cheese, so like, kind of what I expected.
It's cheese. You're not all that surprised.
It's weird. I'm
Girl
just not
talk, Inik.
surprised that it was cheese.
It's girl talk, Inik. You wouldn't understand.
Inik, you are convinced that that is not girl talk.
Hmm.
This is above my pay grade.
It most certainly is.
Wouldn't it be below your
Anyway.
pay grade?
I'm not being paid for this, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's below you.
It is below me, but I'm not being paid, therefore everything is above my pay grade.
This is true. Anyway.
Paid with honor.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
That really can get me new armor.
Hey, I got you new armor. Fuck off.
Yeah, with
Anyway.
my money.
Long rest?
Yeah.
And my money.
You all can... Everyone except Inik may benefit from a long rest.
Inik doesn't need a long rest.
Inik, you may benefit from a short rest if you wish.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I still get exhaustion, so...
Mm-hmm.
And benefiting from a long rest also doesn't matter. Unless there are some abilities that I had used that I never tried to use, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, everybody.
Everyone else is pretty much up at the crack of dawn except Laura. She's still fast asleep. Still in that weird
Oh,
position,
goodness.
but your leaf pillow seems to have helped.
I stand up. I smell the air.
Smells like air.
Good. Making sure.
What does the town
There's
smell
a
like?
faint smell of smoke from the fire.
Monster
Lady
knows not to
Silverster,
rely
she
purely
seems
on his
more
eyes.
uncomfortable
He has
than
to
you
rely on his
were
other
in the
senses.
beginning.
I understood neither of you.
Lovely. She goes over to Lessla. She says,
Lady Silverster, she seems even more uncomfortable than you were in the beginning of our travels.
Lessla, who was awake before the crack of dawn, because that was her watch, says this. I was never uncomfortable. What do you mean?
she tilts her head to the side.
typical signs of discomfort. Not being used to sleeping on the ground when it was necessary.
The ground is softer than a table. That being said, I do not relish being outside all that often, but it is something I have gotten used to.
I think that Lara is still not used to it in the slightest.
Considering she went to a bard's college, it is not surprising. That being said, many bards are taught to be a little more appreciative of the comforts, as a bard's duty is to travel and learn the songs of the people around them. At least that's what I've been told.
I wouldn't know.
Should hear some of the bards back at Waterdeep.
Oh, I did. They didn't sound very good.
It's hit or miss sometimes.
Yes, not all bards are the ones that are hired by nobles.
Now, what are we going to do today? Are we going to try and go back?
Syndrus speaks up in response to your question, Cheese. I'm pretty sure that was the plan.
I'm more than ready.
Are you gonna wake her up? Points at Laura.
He's
Les.
just gonna poke her again.
Again, important. Where?
Poke her in the forehead this time. Right between the eyes.
Okay. You get a response much quicker as she sort of. Yeah, you can see her brow furrow, and then after like the third or fourth time, she swats your hand away. Starts to roll over. Once again, the back of her head hits the ground, and there's a bit of a wince, and she sits up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good
see
morning.
this.
Does your head hurt, miss?
Back a bit's a little sore, I guess.
That's not good. You
Did
might
you
have.
just keep poking me? Looks questioningly at Cheese.
No.
Is that a lie?
Cheese roll deception.
There
Did
we
you
go.
keep poking me? No.
That's a lie, right? Like that's not true. Inik watched her continue to do so. Just want to make sure I
There
know
is
that-
a lie.
Yeah, Inik's just gonna turn and like shake his head and say, "No, that's not true. She did."
Deception roll.
And now it's his word versus hers.
And
I
she
think
rolls a
his
7.
word
And
wins.
Three
She's-
down.
She starts to nod, and then like, wait a minute, and sort of gives you a side eye, but doesn't do much of anything else.
Miss Cheese, small white lies serve no purpose.
Yes, they do. They have enjoyment factor.
Miss Laura, may I look at the back of your head? If it is wounded in any meaningful manner, it might be best for us to take things slowly.
No, that's a good point actually.
And
She sits up more to where it's easier for you to get a look.
Lessla will move
That-
over and give it a
Yeah,
look over.
as you sort of part her hair a little bit, and there is a discernible lump directly on the back of her head.
So Cheese has spent like 10 minutes carefully investigating her horns, has a +4 in medicine, and didn't notice the giant lump on the back of her head.
Yes, you investigated the horns and did not notice the lump.
Okay.
You did specifically look at the horns.
That yes.
Yeah.
And rolled very low.
Fairly low. Lessla says this. Did you happen to fall on your head yesterday? Hold up. Can I, looking at this, does it look like the type of hit that is the type of lump that's done from a hit? Or
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check. Well, medicine or survival. I'll let either one.
Okay. It's a 13.
It could be consistent with that. With like someone getting struck by something.
Hmm.
It's certainly an awkward spot for you to hit your head on.
Lessla says this. I think I might understand, and I will then look at says. Is it possible you've been kidnapped?
By who?
The gods.
I don't remember it.
Well, this angle is awkward. You're not likely to fall on your head unless you fall on a rock, and and your head isn't busted open.
Yeah, for the more you look at it, the more specifically for her, it's very unlikely she just hit there. Her horns would kind of block that.
Yeah. I believe that someone hit you over the back of the head, knocked you out, and then that would explain the wound on your wrist if someone were to drag you by only one arm.
He's never did let it slip what it looked like, what the bruise was indicative of.
Yeah, no.
But
Lessla is.
If that is just Lessla drawing conclusions.
That's just Lessla drawing conclusions from. Oh, your wrist is hurt. Hurting your wrist isn't like really possible from falling. Like you can jam it in, but if they're rubbing it, it's not a jam. So this is Leslie drawing conclusions of there's a wound at the back of her head and her wrist is bruised in some way. So it's consistent with a kidnapping, something that nobles are very aware of.
Yeah, the more you bring up these points, the more uncomfortable she looks. But it does look like it's making sense to her.
I believe that it would be best for you not to return to the village. You may wish to stay by our side for the time being, until we figure out what the cause of these strange occurrences are.
That might be a good idea.
And I look to everyone else and says, well, what does all of you believe our plan of action should be? Should we continue looking for this section of the forest that's being patrolled by the gods, or should we try and investigate the town itself? And drop Laura here with the escaped villagers.
I'm all for investigating the area where the guards are, rather than the village at this point.
I am in agreement with Miss Eldercrow.
I said that and I was muted. I'm dumb.
If we go to the village, then we might be able to find out where the guards are without having to wander aimlessly.
It is
I
a fair
believe the
point.
saying is 2 birds with 1 stone.
There's additional danger.
I think Corvus might have a concussion.
What was that, Rupert?
There's an additional danger to the village.
There's an additional danger to whatever we do, considering the fact we might lose our memories at any given point.
We're still able to act as ourselves during that time. If the
Mm.
guards patrol in twos, they're much easier to ambush and take out. We don't know how many guards there are. We walk into town, they could outnumber us 3-1.
And if they are in the business of kidnapping visitors, it may be a dangerous proposition. While I'm not adverse to the danger, it may hinder our ability to actually investigate. As the safest position to be in would be to stay together rather than split up and exploit our various talents.
Suppose that is correct.
Inik, what is your say on this matter?
I still think that this is stupid and we should probably just leave, but I don't care. You're going to do what you're going to do pretty much regardless of what I say, and I'm going to have to sit around and protect you regardless. It changes very little.
Hmm.
Well, think of it like this, Corvus. At least you're getting out of the house.
I think you mean Inik.
Inik, sorry. Names, people, they're all the same. I'm just kidding.
Well,
That's a
I'm
joke.
already out of the house. And
Yeah.
even then, I would prefer to be there.
it seems that we have a more general agreement towards investigating the forest itself still. And I will look to
Yeah, I believe that is.
Miss Sindris and says, "Are you still willing to guide us?"
I think we should go back and let the others know what we're doing.
Before we do that, but Lara.
Hmm?
But Lara.
She responds.
did
She
move.
yeah. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Words caught in the throat.
Where did you wake up exactly?
Over in that direction. She points in the direction you all came from.
Can you show us where?
Not really. I sort of just took off.
It should be.
What was that?
It should be easy to find.
So, are you intending to try and retrace her footsteps from?
What I'm doing is, if she was dragged here, then there will be a trail.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that for things. Or
Okay.
the just natural tracker instinct in them.
Okay. So, how are you going to like backtrack to where she came?
Follow footprints. Look at her feet and try to gauge feet prints.
Okay. Well, you
Like
do have a
the-
very obvious starting point from the
Yeah.
the skid down the little embankment here and the
Yeah.
broken twigs and the one thrown across the
starting
clearing
point.
as well. Go ahead and roll me a survival check with advantage, as Boy will be helping.
Okay.
Boy.
The bestest of boys.
Boy. That's a nat 20.
Okay, so with that, you're able to very easily trace back, and you know where you eventually do trace it back to, might surprise you, might not. So give me just one moment. As I go ahead and move you all back over there. Yeah, this would be where the tracks lead back to. And at this point, you can see a little bit of a scuffle.
Okay.
And it
Any-
becomes much less clear.
Okay. Wait.
I have a theory.
So you see Corvus like really thinking? Do I notice what look like heavy footprints, and do I notice what look like Inik's footprints? So I can tell if like he was fighting someone else in heavier armor.
Not in really heavy armor, but you know, now that the smoke is cleared and that you have more time to look over this place, you can definitely see some more tracks that weren't there before. Well, that you didn't notice before.
Curious.
I have a theory. We were in the midst of, or well, at the end of a combat. Someone obviously escaped us as there were no dead bodies around. What if, and knowing Inik's predisposition towards just attacking people committing crimes, we stumbled across two people dragging a hapless bard who had been knocked out, obviously kidnapped. Inik, without hesitation, charges them as they are committing a crime, and the scuffle ensues. During the altercation, the hapless bard happens to wake up, confused in the situation, jumps up, and runs away.
Question. Does it look like two individuals or more than that?
It's
Hard to tell.
it's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like there's somewhere between 2 to 4. But it is hard to tell, like what's yours and what's these individuals.
Approximately 2 to 4, which would make sense if it was just 2. Wouldn't have managed to get away as easy.
Can I?
It cost you spells, your ability to cast spells. That would also add to the number. Just slinking around, sniffing the ground, tracks.
Can I investigate the area?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do that.
I'm trying to use survival as much as possible.
Corvus, you can roll survival to get more, but it will be at disadvantage because
15.
you've already gotten a lot out of it.
Yeah.
You're trying to just push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay. Lessla, as far as you can tell, like whoever they were wearing boots of some kind. And it doesn't seem like they were trying to really hide themselves. And you definitely can see some like drags of like someone struggling. They don't look like someone who is just being dragged. They look like someone who is just read that, Aaron. Uh,
Yeah.
no, it
Thanks.
definitely looks like someone was who was struggling.
Hmm. Does it look like a struggling on the ground while being dragged, or does it look like a struggling as they're trying not to, like their feet are sliding?
Like someone is fighting,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not making any progress.
Mm-hmm.
Our question is why?
Well, if there is something magical at the center of the area these guards are protecting, it could be some sort of ritual.
Another druid circle.
Possibly. But if they are taking in people that have no one to assist them and knocking them out and dragging them out to the middle of the forest, it may be sacrificial in nature.
And wait, lost a day. Think the gods have the ability to make people forget?
It may be a side effect of a type
Check.
of chemical. There are some funguses that can attack the brain to a degree. It would not be hard to conceive that someone with a druidic background would be able to cultivate them to attack memories.
While this discussion is going on, Cheese, I want you specifically to roll me a perception check.
Oh, fun. It's gonna ask to make one because she's not watching everything. If she's looking for anything specific, then it's movement within the trees they saw last time. Also, bear with me, brothers. This is another long one.
Ooh, 16.
Nice.
Okay. So you start to hear some noise off in the woods, but it's very hard to identify what exactly it is, or even the general direction. Like, it's coming from somewhere behind you, which is back over this way, but that could be all the way over here. It could be all the way over down here. You know, it's hard to tell. Just that it is from that general direction behind you, and it's very faint. But there is someone or
She
something
turns
traipsing around
immediately.
back in there.
She turns
Well-
immediately to try and catch a glimpse
Whatever it
of
is
them.
pretty far off.
Yeah.
It's just
And
that
she's
the
gonna
forest
kind
is
of
quiet other than everyone talking. That's the only reason you can hear it.
she's gonna wander a little bit closer. She's not wandering off yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna try and look for a trail of something, or like where something might have been sitting and watching.
No trail.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Something was here. Might have been watching us.
That is disconcerting. Do the
Everything
footprint
about this place is disconcerting.
Let's go find it then.
Oh,
the forest
There's
is
no
there?
trail. I would be able to find it.
Do the footprints that were dragging the person, who I assume is going to be Laura, Do they look like they run off in a direction?
They run off a little bit this way at first, but then they kind of get to some more solid ground and you lose.
I think.
And with our reorientation of ourselves, because we know where we slept, we found the same spot we'd slept at. With our reorientation, can we learn where the town would be?
So the town would be sort of off in this direction.
Right. They're running away from the town.
Yes.
You don't generally run away in a position that you know is not that you don't know if safe or not. So, if they are going in that direction, either they are trying to avoid going to the town on purpose, which means that they are trained, or that there is something else in that direction. Is the direction they run off in the same relative direction that we were trying to go?
Sort of. You're kind of in the area you were trying to go now that you look at it.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I think we should try and pathfind our way into figuring out where the accosters went.
It's not the right system.
I was about to say.
Cheese, go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Me.
Yes.
If
Yes,
anything will ever load in all of ever. Okay, I'm rolling. Did I?
If this was some sort of ritual sacrifice and the creature didn't get its sacrifice,
Another 16.
You kind of hear a little bit more than just traipsing around back there. But, whatever else it is to tell between the sort of faint rustling of the leaves and just kind of echoey nature of the forest in general. Because it is a bit more echoey than forests you're used to.
It's just more sounds.
Mm-hmm. Just more sounds. Different sounds, but more sounds.
Noisy forest, huh?
Again, the reason you're picking up is because it is otherwise very quiet.
May I please be excused for a moment?
no.
Lessla
There's
kind of.
something happening, and I wish to know what's going on.
Well, you probably shouldn't go alone.
How do you wish to investigate it?
The thing is, I investigating it with all of you would be rather difficult because I am going to turn into a rabbit to do so.
A funeral.
Lessla says,
I heard that.
If you are insistent on doing so, I insist on taking Klaus with you.
Oh, that
Klaus
ruins the point
puffs
of
out
the
his
entire
chest, and Klaus puffs out his chest, and Cheese, you swear you can get you swear, you would swear you can see him sort of give you that that eyebrow.
Eyebrow waggle?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, he would actually attempt to eat me. But Klaus, do you think you could fly over and see what might be making that noise?
Klaus looks to Lessla, unless you get the response of, "Do I have to listen to that one?"
You're not listening to her. You're doing a favor for me.
He narrows his eyes at you for a second, and you get loose translation of images. Loose translation. Fine, but you owe me. A good meal. Oysters. I like them. Remember that.
Lives in the lap of luxury. He has gotten spoiled.
I've never actually had oysters. I can't say you.
Oysters are great.
I have. I can't get past the texture.
Ooh, they're great.
I tried.
I love.
I tried. I can't.
I love mussels. They have the best texture.
You either love them or hate them. That's my understanding. Anyway, Clouth takes off after getting a confirmation that you will indeed remember, and flies off in that direction.
The text scrolls in the top left corner. Clouth will remember this.
It appears in big bold letters across the screen.
Cloth will remember this.
And Lessla, as I assume you merge senses with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you do so, you watch as he flies over, and probably a few 100 feet away from you all, he picks out two individuals sort of traipsing through the forest here. They're not being quiet at all. Like, they're being very blatantly loud. They don't seem to care if anybody hears them. But it's the fact that they are so far off and there's such a dense cluster of dead trees between you and them that's making it hard for Cheese to pinpoint their location. But with Clouth, you can tell they are more this way.
And are they coming towards us? Away from us?
Not really either or.
They're just kind of patrolling.
Kind of, yeah. They don't really seem to be making a beeline towards anything. They just seem to be haphazardly trampsing through the brush. Clouth, from his position with the trees, can't get a really good look at what they look like.
It appears that there are two persons of sorts in that general direction, from what I can tell, and they don't appear to be looking for anyone in particular. It just seems more like they are patrolling and uncaring of what hears them. Do we wish to intervene?
So, that was about to
Yes.
ask. Alright.
Syndrus is already starting to sneak her way into the brush.
Let's mosey.
Yep, I guess.
Stealthily.
Stealth.
Not the mosey.
Okay. I'm
Mosey
gonna
on
have
over.
everyone roll.
I split off from the group, so I'm a little away. So if they get noticed, I'm fine.
Same, really.
Just,
Mask of the Wild.
Hold on.
So I'm gonna let everyone see Syndrus's roll.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get
The
it loaded up.
shadow.
Fucker. I
Mhm.
saw you rolling off that 18.
I have an ability called natural camouflage, where I can hide
Fucking.
in foliage, heavy rain, whatever. Would that apply to this situation or not? Because we haven't really discussed that.
it's the same as Mask of the Wild, so yes.
Yeah.
Except
Gives no
I don't-
advantage,
would
it
that
just
give me,
means
like-
you can hide while lightly obscure.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
no
yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, which makes me sad. I wish I had that advantage. Because that hurt.
Okay, bear with me. The roll is rolling. We could.
I can't wait for Inik to roll
I don't
double
know
nat
what
20s.
happened today.
I step on a branch I thought was sturdy. It was not sturdy.
Oh wait, I gotta roll for the Drake.
Oh my god.
Ah, nice. Nat
Oh
one.
my god.
Oh my. Okay.
How did
Well,
I
it's a
have
good-
the best dice roll of
Yes.
us?
You didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
that
making
roll
the-
yet.
My unlucky
Making the
Hilarious.
dude in chainmail do a
Of
stealth
the-
check.
Of the players.
Hey, go boy!
Good
Of,
boy.
of the players, I had the best dice roll.
Okay. So, fortunately for you, Syndrus rolled an 18, which is modified to, or a 19, which is modified to an 18. And Laura rolled a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Mhm.
boy.
And so did Boy. So
The
overall,
NPCs are more confident than
because
us.
Sapphire's nat 1 is a 9 space. What was that, Brooke?
I said I said is the NPCs are more competent than us.
I mean,
Like-
they have home field advantage.
Like I said, I thought there was a sturdy stick, log, twig thing. It was not.
She
That's
didn't get the memo. She just started walking through normally.
Mm-hmm. Overall, you are all able to manage to keep fairly quiet, with a little bit of help from
and
each
Flowers
other.
doesn't have anything to give
Ping,
me.
He
ping,
doesn't have
ping,
no.
ping,
He's
He
Yeah.
himself has
Ping.
advantage because he's invisible.
I know he does.
yeah. He's not having to roll due to circumstances.
Yes, I know.
But,
and he's also hidden in my hair.
You're all able to keep fairly quiet as you start getting closer. I'm just gonna readjust you guys on the map real quick for this.
All right.
There's a wind blowing through, so it kind of sounds like chainmail rattling.
The leaves. I can hear the chainmail leaves.
That's how I love flavoring whenever you do well on stealth check and heavy armor. It's just some circumstances that the gods themselves favor you. It's always funny.
I
It's
love
that
how
do
sound
me
of
being
rattling
next-
chains. Don't worry, that's just the local ghosts.
I love how me being kind of separated from the party leads to me being close to the two people plus
Yeah, usually how it
Mm.
works.
on the path. Can I at least be like here?
Sure.
Thank you.
Climb a tree. That's
No,
why
you
you
are
stepped on a
legally
branch.
obligated to sit next to Inik.
I don't want to be. That seems like a poor choice for Sapphire.
But no, after a while, see come sort of stumbling their way out of the bush, cutting through it with it's like a scimitar of some sort. You see come stumbling through it. Those two.
Oh.
Oh,
To enhance visual.
Real?
When Lessla sees that, she's going to whisper to Sindra, says, "Are those the gods?"
She nods.
It seems that your gods are gang members.
The two of them sort of keep stomping along, not really noticing you.
I take
We've
the
been
spear
we've
back,
been okay.
just poised, ready to go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
ready
The
to,
one finally just sheath his scimitar. You can see with no small amount of frustration. We've been hunting for 12 hours now.
I've been falling for 30 minutes. Same energy.
Well, we wouldn't have had to if you hadn't dropped the box. And we wouldn't have had to open the box if you hadn't fired off your big mouth. Look, how was I supposed to know we were going to run into those, whoever they were? One of them got me pretty good. That's because you're an idiot. Yeah, well, I'm not the one who dropped the box. Yes, you are. I'm not the one who let the girl go. Yes, you are. Look, let's just find this thing so that we don't have to be the ones to tell the boss. You won't have to be the one to tell the boss. Leave me out of this.
I'm gonna whisper the cheese and the drake. Don't kill, essentially. Cheese and the drake. Don't kill.
Lessla makes the motion of, "Shall we?"
I don't care. I kind of want to hear more of this conversation. It's amusing.
I
have
do
plenty
too,
of
but
it, so-
I think the conversation has gone.
It's
gone dead.
basically the passing by, as the passing by.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we have a surprise round?
Yep.
I mean,
Without
if you
roll,
choose to
but-
go after them now, then yes, you may and you,
Yep. All right.
or you can wait to see if you get any more. It is up to you.
Well, I'm going to
Waiting for the
interrogate them.
initiative tracking.
Yep.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah. Surprise rounds still you still roll initiative in surprise rounds. It's
Mhm.
just they
It's
don't
not,
get a turn.
it's
Wasn't
not a
surprised.
round.
Bear with me.
How do you can you roll the Drake's initiative? Or can
No,
I?
you
Don't do it.
asshole!
How do you roll initiative, Drake?
I heard it roll
Wait, no,
off
he
a
goes on
high
my turn.
number.
Never mind. He goes on my turn for simplicity.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch. No valid token was selected. Well,
It do be
I
like
have
that
words
sometimes.
for you. Do you want me to reroll
Mhm.
my initiative? Nice one, Inik.
So if they're surprised, it's automatic advantage, right?
Y-
No.
Damn.
No, it's if you're hidden, which you count as, you get
Yeah.
advantage.
Guys, with the roll of the century.
Damn, Inik.
There we go. Finally. Good lord.
Okay.
Is that both of them going on that 18 or
Yes.
okay?
But they're not gonna get a turn this round.
No, they're not.
As you go
As
ahead.
they're busy bickering with each other.
Yeah.
Go. And it go. Do what you're meant to do.
Wait,
Inik,
Cinder's
go
to
do
roll.
Inik things.
Wait,
Oh right,
Cinder's to
Cinder's.
roll.
Yeah, no, she does. I do need to roll her initiative.
And what about our new Bardic friend?
I don't think she's going
Laura.
to.
she's not going to be participating in this.
Understandable.
The only reason Sindris is well, reasons.
Yeah.
Time to whack a dude. Or well, whack dude, two dudes.
Whack-a-mole.
Oh, that's my d20.
Actually,
How are you gonna
lightning breath time.
want them alive?
Slightly charred is still alive.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Let's see what happens.
So they have to roll dex saves.
Yes, they do.
Does
This
surprise
is going
give
to
them
go very well
disadvantage?
for them. Yes, it does. That is the wrong stat block. That is the right stat block. What is their save? I have to remember what their save is.
Oh hey, that's almost max damage too.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
I've just seen what their save is. Oh no.
Are they dead? Right.
So we have a 4 and an 11.
Hmm.
Oh,
They'll
Lord.
fail and take 11 lightning damage.
They are both dead.
Eh,
Good
skill,
son
God
of a
damn it,
gun.
Inik.
skill issue.
Just
They did
just
not
have more
that much
HP.
health.
Did they only have 10 health?
They had
11.
9.
Oh
Oh,
no.
Oh,
Well,
Uh, so that's combat over.
he looks very disappointed. He's like, oh, I wanted to eat them.
to be fair,
I'm
Inik
looking at
didn't-
Cheese with a concerned look on my face.
Inik didn't hear the
Yeah.
the take them alive.
Non-lethal.
I only shouted it
Uh,
in reaction to him doing lightning breath.
To be fair, it's also in character for.
Yeah.
So there's now 2 charred corpses. Middle of the road.
And
Little
Lesla's going
friend,
to,
it's dinner.
Lesla's going to walk up and start investigating their bodies to see if they have any like orders or notes on them.
Same, honestly.
Cheese is looking
Um,
for any trinkets.
they may
fine.
very well have had. They are now all piles of ash.
Okay, but their coins wouldn't be.
Their coins are fine. One of them has 1 gold. The other has 3 silver.
Okay.
For reference, if this changes your decision, the lightning breath I have does not specify it ignites things.
Mm-hmm.
It is lightning.
Yeah,
It is lightning though.
it is lightning. Yes. Small
This is-
things. Yeah, it's going to incinerate.
I'm just gonna check their pouches to see if there's anything left.
Let me
Mending
roll
works on
something.
ash.
I have to check something.
Does mending work on ash? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Yes. It does.
No.
No, I was saying you heard that right. Okay, you're in luck. The one of them, the one who was kept calling the other one a moron, seemingly rightfully so. Yeah, he's got a pouch with some very intact stuff, as well as a small wooden box that is now slightly smoldering.
Okay, I will search the pouch.
Are you about to
First.
say open the box?
I'm not
Yes,
opening the box
open
yet. I'm
Pandora's
not
box.
opening the box yet. I may.
So the pouch has a slip of paper upon which there are 3 images, like 3 images of people, like very very nicely detailed, like it's almost like a wanted poster style drawing,
Fun.
Mhm.
so that you can identify someone. And you very clearly recognize 2 of them as Sindris and Lara.
Mhm.
The other one, there's been an X drawn over, and you do not recognize him.
I
Oh.
He's the
Oh,
have.
help of some
Betty, that's
sort.
Sindris's brother.
I have a guess. I'm just going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all have
I'm
the
just.
same.
I'm just going to. Fuck. I'm going to look to Sindris and say,
I will say there's also an X over Lara's picture.
I shouldn't be,
Well,
but
they
yeah,
make assumptions.
yeah.
They made
Well, I mean,
assumptions.
they were the ones dragging her, so that's why there's an X.
It's
They
like, we
counted the
didn't lose
chickens
her,
a
we
little
killed
too.
her.
Well, no, they're trying to capture them. At which point, Lessla looks to Sindris and says, "Just because I need to confirm it, is this your brother?" And she holds up the slip of paper.
She very quickly moves over and basically snatches it out of your hand.
Mhm.
Yes. And she thrusts it back at you.
It would seem that these men were targeting you, your brother, and Laura. Oddly enough, very specifically.
What did I do?
It might not be something you've done, but more akin to something innate about you. If this is indeed has magic involved, which I believe it is, considering this is not the first time we've run into these men. Or well,
Curse
this
of being
gang.
odd.
Are we either roughly the same size as this guy?
Yeah.
Take a shit.
Okay.
It's
you,
charged.
you you take
Oh yeah,
his
the other one
slightly
did a
charred
little
shirt.
burn through.
Yeah, okay. Ripping it
Uh,
up in the back so I can make bandages.
Okay,
Okay.
now the does it
Not
look
where
like
I
the
thought that was going.
does it look like the box can open?
Yeah, most definitely. It just part of it is now semi charcoal. Just but it'll still open.
Yeah.
Like it's been through the fire, but yeah. fine.
Using my invisible mage hand, I'm going to put it a fair bit away from the party before opening it.
Okay. You open the box. The box is empty.
Pandora's box, no.
It would seem that
No.
whatever was inside the box has already been let out. It might be
Nice.
that powder. It might be that smoke that we were
Actually, they said something about one of them losing something from the box. I think they were looking for whatever was in there to put it back.
Leslie's
Only
gonna
thing
use.
is, we don't know what's in the box.
I
Can
can
it-
take a guess.
It's probably those things that were running away from us.
I would say it's what's making people forget things. I
Um,
take the helmet off this guy.
Okay.
Leslie.
If you want to investigate the box anymore, you'll have to get closer.
Yeah, no, Leslie's bringing it back
I'll
to
get
her.
closer.
Okay.
It's floating back to me.
Yeah.
Well.
Perception check.
Yep. Alright.
Both of you.
Okay.
Stop rolling off the high numbers.
So Lessla, it smells like charcoal. Sapphire, yeah, there's the smell of charcoal. There's also the faint smell of mint.
It smells like mint.
And
Like
Yes.
the circle.
indeed.
Yeah.
It is entirely possible that the circle was meant to summon something, and the box is made to contain that very same something. Which, if that is the case, there may be another such circle wherever these gods were dragging Miss Laura here.
To give you an idea, the box is about the size of a sort of small jewelry box.
Mm-hmm. You can still contain something in a box that small.
Nope, I'm just letting you know that's how big it is.
I have
Yes.
a question. Is there any moisture on the wood or no?
Not anymore.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
I could have used. Wait. I walk up to the box. Walk
Are
up
you
to the
gonna
box and
sniff
I'll
it?
sniff. I'll sniff the box and I'll try and get a scent somewhere else in the forest.
Okay. Perception.
So, maybe less than 10. All right.
Yeah, you've got a scent. This thing, whatever it is about this thing, there's no like real distinctive scent of the forest, but you recognize a little bit of the smell of like a city, maybe.
We're gonna have to go into that town, aren't we?
well, we can investigate wherever it is they were trying to take Laura, because
Don't know where that was.
we know that it is in this general area. So we do a search
Do
pattern.
we though?
We do have a person, well, not a person, but we do have a thing that can fly and has eyes.
Yes.
He could probably look for us.
Not to mention, as Lesla continues, is that if they are not killing them immediately, there is a high likelihood that Miss Sindris's brother is still alive. And
if I'm right, it's been a number of days. I have dehydration.
yes, but if they are taking this much trouble to take people alive, I doubt they're just going to kill them for no reason. Nor are they going to let them die of dehydration. While I don't particularly care about saving any one person, he may be able to enlighten us as to the situation.
If it has something with his scent on it, I can try and track it.
I could also attempt to help.
Lesla says this. And while you're doing that, I'll look to Cloud and says this. Can you get a bird's eye view? Well, I guess dragon's eye view in this case.
Yeah, you get the images. Once again, rough translation. Your favors are stacking up. Sure, you can deliver.
Don't worry, you will get your favors. And I scratch him on the chin.
Get the rough image. I'll wave it this time. And he takes off.
He can do a 1 mile search pattern.
Yep, which is what he is going to do. And what he can see. Yep. Yeah, what he can see is about say about 2.5 miles away. There is what appears to be a clearing and a very sort of narrow road or path. It sort of winds around and then after a while makes its way. Like it starts to go farther away from Waterdeep, but then it sort of circles around and goes back in that direction. It is a very, very small path, so it's hard to keep track of it for much longer than that.
It appears that there is a path up ahead. If they are consistently using this area, it makes sense that they would make one.
It looks like it could be just big enough for like a small carriage or wagon.
Suppose I could scout it out.
I'll go with you.
I could attempt to help.
Just kind of throw the. I took the helmet off. I'm just looking at it, but back on this guy's chest,
Okay.
and
It bounces off his chest and onto
I'll
the
pull
ground.
out my. I'll pull out my knife. I will
Mhm.
walk over to a tree and I'll draw a very crude stag's antlers and just put this man under it and cut and then just slit him open.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Then turn him on his side so his guts fall out against the tree.
Okay.
Right.
That smells
Citrus
Very casually.
seems to be a little confused. Laura looks like she's going to be sick.
Just very
Lesla
casual.
Okay
will.
then.
Lesla, unperturbed by this, just grabs both of them by the shoulders and says, "Is best to look away from the wild man."
Yeah, Laura's already doing
smells
that, kind of like
awful.
placing a hand on Inik to brace herself as she tries to keep from losing whatever lunch she may have
It smells delicious because they're cooked.
Have,
Oh, no, you're right.
God damn it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That smells beautiful.
Yeah, it would smell lovely.
You're right.
Richard, I
Alright.
hate you.
Let's go look at the path, guys.
I'm hungry. I
The
could
offering
go
has
for
been
medium
made.
rare steak.
The
Please
offering has
don't.
been made.
Okay,
go.
okay, let's go.
I'm
Let's
going
go
with
before
it.
I die.
Alright.
I
Oh my
will.
Jesus.
We will.
Did anyone recognize the symbol I drew or no?
I can roll a religion. I'm pretty sure it has to do with your god.
Yeah, the misfortune god probably.
Yeah,
Or the god of hunting, maybe.
Inik's just
No,
gonna
but
take
kinda.
the person leaning on him and just kind of guide them away from the.
Yeah,
Insanity.
she doesn't fight you on that.
Yeah.
Alright. Go.
At one point, you're convinced she's about to just let it out. You can hear the sort of gag before she just gets this really sick look on her face. And
Man, she's gonna have a hard time being an actual bard.
She's new. Give her credit.
She might have a thing for
She's fresh
like,
out
she
of
might-
school.
she might be sick with like when seeing blood. Vomit might be another story because if she's gonna be like performing in taverns, that's got to be like a normal sight.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think she's probably high class bard. We don't know. We haven't heard her play, but she is with a lyre, which is a bit of a pretty.
you did hear her play when you went
Yeah.
Way more high
down
class.
to her.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go high.
All right. Well.
Right.
Here
we go.
Forward.
Onward.
All right. So a lot of you start.
I think it was only 3 people scouting first.
Well, we're going to be following a distance behind you.
We're
Yeah,
gonna help
we're
you
just
go
gonna-
together.
A lot of you start making your way towards there. Are you trying to be quiet, stealthy?
Yeah.
The
Okay,
people scouting, yes.
okay.
I don't think the people behind are.
Then
Much
I need
better.
Okay. I need 3 people scouting to make checks.
Yay!
Corvus, no!
Has to keep.
Go roll for the Drake.
Da 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 da.
And
da, da,
Citrus
da,
will be
da.
scouting with you as well, whether you ask for it or not.
Up, Drake.
Drake's
job,
fine.
Good job.
Good
Please
job,
stand
boy.
by while I'm rolling.
Okay. And
Nice.
Citrus. Okay.
I didn't see Citrus's roll.
We don't need to.
There's a reason.
That's fair.
I rolled a 2.
He's sneaking off away from them.
Plus 2.
So yeah, all of you, you feel sneaky. You actually lose track of Sapphire a couple times.
Despite
like
the
to think that
blue
Cheese is
hair
actually
and the
just
red
pretty quiet.
Yeah.
But I like to think that Cheese is actually pretty quiet. It's just she's so out of place in all situations that it doesn't matter.
I love how
Yeah,
Sapphire has
she's-
blue hair and a blue color scheme, and you lose her in red trees.
Yeah. Cheese does this thing for sneaking where Cheese just sort of walks normally, but sort of just melds into the bushes. Cheese is
Oh.
attempting to do that now, but yeah, it's just Cheese walking through the bushes.
Beautiful.
So and Corvus, you seem to find every single gopher hole.
See, this is why we make
Oh.
a prayer to the bad luck gods before we do something. Because she made has decided the cause is not.
So you
deserving
get
of
bad luck.
luck. No. You do it so you don't get bad luck. It's just that was unfortunate.
She didn't like your offering.
He finds him. What? It was a good offering. He had a bad day.
I
He
Ungrateful,
really had
but
a
she
bad day.
Okay. It'll turn around in a bit. It may take time to get to.
Anyway, so a lot of you start making your way toward clearing, and yeah, it's a clearing. It's
Nice.
pretty open. There's nothing really of note here except that the ground has very much been well trodden. And you can see some obvious signs of like drawn carts and horses.
Any hints of mint?
Not that you can detect off the bat. If you want to look harder, that would be checks.
Yeah, I'm keep still fresh.
Investigation or survival.
I will.
Can I make that check as well?
Once you get there, yes.
Can I make it?
Okay.
Yeah, anyone who wants to can make it.
Those are both the same, so why not? Decent roll.
I am
Decent roll.
rolling survival.
Less than 10.
Okay.
Hey, looks like your offering made it.
Take some time.
It was just a little late, yeah.
Yeah, she's actually described as very malicious. She may have just been feel like being a bitch. So.
Pretty.
That's fair. Okay. So none of
Alright.
you smell any mint. You do very distinctly smell the smell of horses. Like they have been here
Are they-
within hours.
Are they our
An
horses?
hour.
No, they're not your horses. What was
But
that, Rifford?
Horse meat. I know it well. Wait, is this where what was his name? Anthony? Andre. Was this Andre's horse?
No.
You could have said yes.
What? I'll zoom a little closer. I hear rubble, people moving about horses, or just
No.
horses weaning and whining.
You don't hear the sound of anything. You just horses have
smell.
been here. There's like a smell that they have been here. Like you know
I
when you
imagine
keep
Corvus
animals
is
in
doing,
an
like,
area
the-
for a long time, there's that
I'm
smell.
very-
that
It
Not
just
even a long
smells.
time. Sometimes it's just 2 minutes. Your dog's been breathing, so it just smells like dog breath for the next 5 minutes. Yeah, no, I'll keep moving.
Yeah, and then there is that path, which you can definitely see has been well trodden with carts before.
Do any of them seem particularly fresh?
Not especially. Like maybe a few days old.
That's relatively fresh. I'll move in the way of the tracks, keeping to the side of the path along the brush.
Okay. Yeah, they go on down the path.
They are away from the.
Yeah, they go away
Does
from
this
you.
seem like? Does this seem like? If we took a shortcut path, does this seem like it would be the regular way to town, or it connects to the regular way
This
to
does
town?
not go to town at all. You can tell that is going in the opposite direction at first, and then it sort of curves back around.
Curious. I'll keep just sort of following it.
Same.
Okay. So you all follow it. How long are you going to follow this for?
At least half a mile.
Okay. Half a mile, it has almost fully made its swing back towards the direction. Not quite towards the town, but back towards that sort of general direction. It's clear this is it's maintained, sort of, but this is a back road. This is not something that is commonly tread, or at least wasn't. That might have changed recently. This is like one of those old driveways out in the country. That
Uh,
yeah, it's a road. It's there, but it's not a well-known public thing.
dirt roads. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
So the
Yeehaw.
recent tracks seem 3 days old.
2 to 3.
2 to 3. In here,
That tracks with our
2 to
timeline.
3 days. Not ours, we know that. Right? They're not ours.
No, they're definitely not yours.
Future.
If there's no hooves, then if there's no deer hooves, then they're not ours.
You can tell that whatever I'll actually give you this. Whatever carriage this was modified a little bit to get better traction on the dirt, as there are some. You can faintly see some like spike markings in some of the tracks.
So they made off-road modification. The part. But they're specifically designed for this road. Which means, what are they dumping? There's going to and fro, right? Both directions?
It seems to be. But again, this extend after it's fully made that curve. You can see this extends like a before you lose track of really
It's-
anything.
It's possible that this is the road they use to drag Lara here. Corvus will actually come out of hiding.
So Corvus,
He's
I
pretty
want you to give me a survival check, since you're making these assumptions.
Less than 10.
This definitely does not go back to the town.
Wait.
Not to the river's crossing anyway. It from just how you're looking at it here, it would have to make like a really sharp bend to get back that way, and you'd
Where's-
probably connect to the main road at some point, but you're not familiar with one that did.
Using my knowledge of forest and stuff and going. Wait. I'm gonna wait for the others to catch up. The rest of the group to catch up.
Okay.
I'm just hidden by you.
And then when I see them, I just gesture like it's fine. They just come.
Alright, well, assuming you do that, I will take a look around myself to investigate the surroundings.
Okay. Roll an investigation or survival, your choice.
Same with cheese. I'm rolling
No, you asshole! It
Yeah.
rolled off. It rolled off a 13.
Oh.
Lessla, there is a lot of mud.
Do the stand.
Then I will start ritually casting detect magic.
Well, from what I can tell, this doesn't go back to the town. thought perhaps this was how they got people into the forest, but it doesn't seem to be that type of road. Ends quite a ways from it. Look, is Syndress there, or did she sneak off?
She's still around.
Syndress, you know this area better. Know of anything that's out here?
No.
Well, we have two options. We can abandon what we're doing now. We can follow the road, see where it goes.
Say we don't really have any other leads.
It would be prudent, I should say, to continue investigating, I believe.
Of daylight.
When my detect magic is finished, do I see anything?
No magic here.
Alright, well. It does not appear to be any magical effects in this area, so unless there is something else for us to
To be noted, this road is being more recently used. 3 days have passed, and they seem to have modified their carts for this road specifically. Means whatever travels on this road is deliberate.
and consistent.
Consistent enough to leave pretty well fresh tracks. Almost takes the spear off his back.
There is always the opportunity to lie in wait.
3 days have passed. We don't know how often they use the road. We could be camping here. If it's a monthly thing, or a weekly thing, or bi-weekly thing, we don't know.
I'm gonna guess this has to do with whenever they have another. And she kind of gestured. I assume Lessla still has the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Another target in mind.
Yeah, well, if we had someone to ask, but I have to just.
Well, Lessla says this. Well, we can establish sort of a timeline if we know how long ago Syndress' brother disappeared. And I will look over to Syndress and say, Miss Syndress.
2 months.
So they are coming here more consistently than the people they are targeting.
What type of moon did you say it was, Shadow?
Half.
Yeah.
Waning half moon.
Wait and half. So that means it would have been in the waning gibbon age, all around with that 3 days ago. So. That's
Would have been waning crescent 3 days ago.
isn't waning getting smaller?
Waning is getting bigger.
No, waxing is getting bigger. To wane.
Hold on, double check this shit.
My waning power. My power is waning. It is getting lesser.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, then it would be waxing.
Okay, so
It
it's
would be
waxing. Okay.
It was a more
Please
closer
would know that.
crescent.
I'm just dumb.
Crescent is harvest moon, but
We will need to be careful. That being said, does it look like we can continue searching down this path, or do we have to follow these tracks to wherever they go?
Well, the path just keeps going. The tracks just follow it. They don't deviate from the path.
Okay.
Wherever it goes, it definitely doesn't go to the town.
Well, I think follow the Yellow Brick Road.
it seems we're lucky no one's there. We are not.
Hey, look at
Then
the bright
Corvus
side.
realizes he says the term lucky. It just keeps moving.
Okay.
Look at the bright side. You already have the wizard.
Yes, we already do have the Wizard of Oz. This one is just a little bit more sour than the other one.
Okay. How long are you guys willing to follow this road?
Of a half mile.
Okay, it keeps going. There's no sign of it ending
How
anytime soon.
big is the forest? Okay, it's lightening up.
No.
Big forest.
Oh goodness.
Can we ask Cloth where we are in relation to the potential end of this spiral path?
You can
thing?
indeed. And if you, as Lessla again, choose to send him up to look.
Yeah, I was planning on doing so.
So he takes off. And from what you can see from him, this goes on as far as he can see. It keeps going. Sort of winds a little bit, but it does just keep going in the same general direction.
You kind of clearing. You see.
Maybe there's a, not that you can see immediately, maybe further down there are a couple. Like those might be like camping spots. If they're certainly no bigger if they are.
Hmm. So I'm just going to meta this and ask Shadow. Does it appear? How would it take us out of this general area if we continue following this path?
Yes.
Okay, we should probably turn back then.
Yeah, let's get to the point. That's why I was going
I will tell you from what you can tell, this doesn't connect to another road until you can see kind of the other road, just barely off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of follows the same direction as the one you came here on.
Okay.
Truthfully, in a sort of perpendicular manner.
All right, that's then yeah. Upon seeing that, Lessla says, "I believe we have exhausted this option. It may be time to investigate the town."
with the time it's getting dark, so we'll start heading back. Probably have to camp somewhere.
We can camp at the clearing and stay out of sight, just in case.
Certainly an option.
Okay. So you all make your way back to the clearing. And you still have some daylight left. I will say this. Not a whole
Yeah.
lot, but some.
Well, in that case,
Maybe an hour or two.
in that case, Lessa
Yes.
will be practicing her form with her rapier.
Okay.
Yeah, I got training to do.
Sindris just kind of goes off and sits by the edge of a clearing and just sort of half cleans, half just looks at the knife she has.
I'll just whisper
How?
to Cat.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna like, again scratching the beard, sort of in between sets of his working out and training with his spear and training with his unarmed. Voice just whispers to Calico. What do you make of all this? You're awfully quiet.
Well, I make of it to be very interesting. I'm certainly glad I came.
Gonna give a cocked eyebrow.
What? Girl can't have a little fun.
You've just been sitting on my shoulder the entire time. And
Oh, but it's been
rather-
very entertaining. You get the feeling like you're just kind of giving her what she wants right now.
That's why I just stop talking. I'll be talking in circles if I keep going.
Mm-hmm. She stretches and lays down on your shoulder.
While I'm training.
Yeah.
Alright, good balance.
it's a cat. So
Yeah.
anyone
Oh
else
God,
doing
what was I
anything?
Oh, yes. I wanted to ask, are we still in like the poisoned part of the forest?
Yes.
Okay. Cheese is
You were
going
definitely being
to
led out of it when you started
Yeah.
following the road, but you are sort of, still in it right now.
Cheese is gonna do cheese things. She's gonna do what would constitute as a druid meditation, just sort of trying to get more in tune with the land around her and understand more of why it is sick, if that is all possible.
I will make you roll survival or nature. Your choice.
Survival. I wanna just -1. Stand by, please. I don't know
Mhm.
why it's like this today.
19.
Okay. So you begin to sort of meditate and try and connect with the forest around you, and you feel like you are. You feel, even though it still doesn't feel right, you still feel, brings you a little bit of peace to know that you can still connect.
But I don't get any further insight into
No.
the the plague of the forest, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
The forest
S-
plague.
Sapphire's just gonna chill against a tree, privately speaking to her friend and kind of looking at her locket.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out what the best course of action is, in which Shadow, you will see the conversation.
Mm-hmm. He has no insight for you.
No comment is like, you better not be the one.
No, he doesn't have anything meaningful to contribute.
Okay, it's kind of sad, but understandable.
For a
I'm still
while,
trying to
Cheese
figure out
just
what the hell the mint is about.
Mm.
Cheese just kind of sits up and looks perturbed,
Okay.
a little annoyed.
Waste so much time in the day. After Lesla's done with her rapier training, she will approach Sindris to ask what her opinion on this entire situation is.
I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
Well, generally speaking, as my mentor put it, is that if you don't know what you should be doing, you should just do something, because either you'll be wrong and you'll figure it out, or you'll be right and you'll figure it out. That being said,
Sorry, go ahead.
I understand that this is a very personal problem for you.
She grips the knife a little bit tighter, but doesn't respond to you.
I cannot say that I understand what you are feeling. It is beyond me to have a familiar bond, as they put it. But I have an inkling that we are moving, at the very least, in a proper direction. And regardless of how it ends, I'm sure that you will find closure. Whether that resolution is finding your brother or not, I do not know.
Thanks.
But I believe that if you have faith in your brother's ability to survive, he will at least have someone believing in him.
She pauses with her sort of just sharpening of the knife and occasionally looking at it, takes a good look at it, and with a little bit of a robe she has, she takes it and just very carefully cleans it, puts it back in its little sheath, and just holds it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of tucking her knees up to her as well as she sits against this tree. You don't really get much more out of her unless you want to pry for it.
Mm-hmm. Let's all say it. And the thing is Lessla doesn't know how to console people.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of just stumbling at this point. Would you like to speak about him?
No. It won't help anything.
Maybe it won't, but maybe remembering your better memories with him will bring you some temporary peace.
I don't need help with that.
That's an insight check.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That's an 11.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is Syndra's.
Yeah.
Her deception is not very good. It's less I don't need help with that, and more I don't need.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's less don't need help at all, and more don't need help from you.
Sindris, I understand that you probably do not like me in any way whatsoever, as I am, quite honestly, a very abrasive person. But you are currently our companion, and when I travel with someone or am helping them, I will do my best to help them in whatever way I can. Because they will inevitably help me in the future in some way, so how? And I believe that we will require you to be in your best physical and mental condition. So I want to help you because it helps me.
Roll persuasion.
All right.
You are not going to be at disadvantage.
Don't roll on that one.
Okay. Okay. She turns her head over, or looks over at you, and seems to regard. Everything going wrong here. Noble. Town. Why should I have any reason?
You're really breaking up for me.
So she said everything
same
that's gone wrong here has happened because of the nobles in her town. Why should she believe that you are any different?
Because, as self-interested as I am, I believe that the nobles have a duty to the populace in order to support them so that they may keep providing for the nobles' lifestyle. There is a proper place for everyone. The nobles is to guide the peasant folk so that they may lead sufficient lives. And if someone has failed in their duty as a noble, then it is my duty as another noble to, what's the phrase, pick up the slack, as it were. I'm very strong-willed when it comes to the duty that I have been birthed to. And I will do my best to fulfill my duty, even if this is not my land. Not all nobles are truly evil. I might be, but not all nobles. Some truly do believe in charity. Others believe that the peasantry is just another cog in the machine and each one is replaceable. I, on the other hand, understand that every person has individual uses. And if you do not cultivate those uses, then it is a waste, not only for the noble, but also for the peasantry. And to waste that potential is the biggest crime of all. And I see very much a lot of potential in you. So I wish to cultivate it, as it will be useful to me later on.
Useful how?
Lessla kind of tilts her head and says,
You have her full attention now.
to put an exact value on someone's usefulness is not something that I am fully capable of. What I do know is that you have a strong drive, Miss Sindris. You have an ambition to do what you believe is right. And when guided properly, that type of ambition can achieve great things. What those things you achieve are is up to you. So tell me, what is it you want? And I will do my best to provide it for you, as long as you remain useful to me.
Right now, I want you to stop calling Sindra. I hate it. Zelenora?
And she can visibly see that Lessla kind of struggles and says, if that is what you wish for our relationship, I'll kill you. I will blah blah blah. I will call you by your preferred name.
I will kill you.
No. I will call you by your
No,
preferred
I will
name.
not do that. Stop.
It was Eleonora, right?
Zalenora.
Zalenora, okay.
I will go ahead and I will spell it out for you.
Thank you. It was never spelled out, so I've had a
Yeah,
I
lot
think
of
it
trouble.
was, but it's been buried.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been buried.
Would you?
Oh, sorry, Zarfea, not Zalenora. That's someone
Zarfea,
else.
okay.
Zarfea. Zarfeah.
Would you like?
Sorry, they both start with a Z.
Would you like for me to continue with the suffix of the prefix of miss, or would you rather me drop that as
No.
well?
Very definitive, very immediate no before you even finish.
Okay. All right. I shall refer to you as such. Is there anything else?
I'm tired right now. We can talk in the morning.
Very well. Then rest well.
And that is where I will call it for tonight.
All right.
All right. All right. With that, we will call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. For those of you who have watched this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the music and you wish to support the channel, please view the links down in the description. And until next time.
With your thumbs and tears for touch, you draw me from dust and turn me into such. All you granted me was lust, and what I seem to